On July 19th, 2025, something impossible happened. A video game that didn't even exist 4 months earlier shattered every record you can think of. It wasn't some $100 million blockbuster from a major studio, and it wasn't the next big sequel to a beloved franchise. It was a simple, unassuming farming game on Roblox, and at its peak, it had 21.9 million people playing it, all at the exact same time. The game is called Grow a Garden, and by peak concurrent players, it's the single most played video game in history. Its meteoric rise made headlines, baffled industry analysts, and even nudged the stock market. But the craziest part of this story isn't the unbelievable numbers. It's that the whole thing started in a teenager's bedroom. It all began with a 16-year-old developer who, in just a few days, reportedly built the foundation for a global phenomenon. This is the inside story of how a tiny solo project got acquired by studios, grew into a cultural touchstone, and changed the gaming world forever. To really get how Grow a Garden became a titan, you first have to understand Roblox. It's not just one game, it's a whole universe of games, a platform where anyone with an idea can create an experience for millions. For years, young, scrappy developers have built careers here, making everything from complex RPGs to goofy, addictive simulators. The platform's top games are usually long-standing giants, like Blox Fruits and Adopt Me, titles that have spent years building their massive audiences. Breaking into that upper echelon is seen as nearly impossible for a new game, let alone one made in a flash. But on March 26, 2025, that's exactly what happened. A 16-year-old developer, known only by his username, BMW Lux, launched a project he'd reportedly built in just 3 days. It was called Grow a Garden. The concept was almost laughably simple. You get a small, empty plot of land. You buy seeds, plant them, water them, and wait for them to grow. Harvest the crops, sell them for in-game currency, and use that to buy more seeds, better tools, or a bigger garden. It was a classic gameplay loop, a throwback to social games like Farmville, but stripped down to its absolute core. There were no flashy graphics, no complex story. It was just pure, satisfying progression. In a world of high-octane action games, Grow a Garden was an island of zen. You planted, you grew, you sold, repeat. You could play for 10 minutes or 10 hours, and it was this elegant simplicity that became the seed of its insane success. It wasn't trying to be the next big thing, it was just trying to be a relaxing, satisfying escape. And in the chaos of online gaming, that was exactly what millions of people were looking for. For the first few weeks, Grow a Garden was just another drop in the ocean of Roblox experiences. It was a solo project, a passion-fueled experiment. The game chugged along with a small but loyal community, usually hovering around 1,000 or 2,000 players online at once. Respectable numbers for a new indie game on the platform, but hardly earth-shattering. BMW Lux was a one-man show, juggling bug fixes, updates, and talking to the community all by himself. He'd made something special, but taking it to the next level was a whole different challenge. That's when Jansen Madsen entered the picture. Known on Roblox as Jandel, Madsen is a well-respected figure in the community and the founder of Splitting Point Studios, a New Zealand-based developer with a string of hit games. Madsen had an eye for potential, and he saw something in Grow a Garden that others had missed. He saw the elegant, addictive core loop and the passionate early fans. He knew that with the right resources, this simple farming game could be huge. In April 2025, they struck a deal. Splitting Point Studios acquired a 50% share of Grow a Garden, partnering with its 16-year-old creator. This was the moment everything changed. BMW Lux was no longer just a kid working out of his bedroom. He was now backed by an established studio with a team of experienced artists, programmers, and community managers. The partnership was a perfect match. BMW Lux brought the core concept and the authentic player-first vision. Splitting Point brought the resources, experience, and strategy to scale a game for a massive audience. They didn't try to reinvent it. They just amplified what already made it great. First on the list, stabilize the game, squash the bugs, and get the servers ready for what they hoped would be a wave of new players. They were pouring gasoline on a spark, betting that Grow a Garden was about to catch fire. They had no idea just how big the inferno would be, with the power of Splitting Point Studios behind it. Grow a Garden started evolving at a blistering pace. Updates weren't small tweaks anymore. They were major, game-changing events. The first big test came in May 2025. The team rolled out a major content drop that introduced new plants, special tools, and collectible pets to help players in their gardens. The response was immediate and overwhelming. The player count didn't just rise, it exploded. By mid-May, Grow a Garden had shattered the Roblox record for concurrent players, hitting an incredible 5 million users at once. It had officially dethroned the platform's long-reigning kings, but this was just the start of a historic run. The team kept the momentum going with an aggressive update schedule, a strategy that made the game feel constantly fresh and alive. They introduced limited-time events, like the Blood Moon event with spooky nocturnal plants and the Busy Bees update, which added a whole new layer of strategy. Each update was a shot of adrenaline, pushing the player count to unimaginable heights. By the end of May, the game soared to 11.7 million concurrent players. Then, in mid-June, it hit 16 million, officially surpassing the all-time peak player count of Fortnite, a record many thought would never be broken. The game's success created its own gravity. It became a self-perpetuating hype machine. YouTubers and TikTok creators flocked to the game, showing off their massive gardens and rare items to millions of viewers. This viral marketing, amplified by Roblox's powerful recommendation algorithm, created a feedback loop of exponential growth. The more people played, the more it was recommended, and the more people joined. The team at Splitting Point was in uncharted territory. No game, on Roblox or anywhere else, had ever grown this fast. The servers strained, and the developers worked around the clock to keep up. As the game's popularity skyrocketed, it caught the eye of bigger investors. A Florida-based company called Do Big Studios acquired a minority stake, injecting even more capital into the operation. The little farming game, made by a teenager, was now a multi-million-dollar enterprise. On June 21, 2025, Splitting Point Studios launched the Summer Update. It was their most ambitious one yet, adding a new island with beach-themed crops, new tools, and competitive leaderboards with exclusive rewards. The community was hyped, but no one was ready for what came next. As the update went live, the player count started to climb, and it just didn't stop. It blew past the old record of 16 million. It surged past 18 million, then 20 million. For one staggering moment on July 19th, Grow a Garden hit a peak of 21.9 million concurrent players. It was a number so huge, so completely unprecedented, that it was hard to even process. A huge chunk of all active Roblox users were in this one game, all at the same time, just planting virtual seeds. The game had officially become a cultural phenomenon. It wasn't just a game. It was a social space, a daily ritual for millions. Friends would coordinate logging on when rare seeds appeared in the global shop, which refreshed every 5 minutes, creating a constant buzz of urgency and community. The game's appeal was universal. As one editor at Common Sense Media noted, it gave players a chill escape, a slow cultivating of a magical garden that resonated in a fast-paced world. The economic impact was just as mind-blowing. The game's revenue came from selling Robux, the platform's currency, which players used for premium items. While exact figures are private, analysts noted the game was a key driver of Roblox's booming revenues, with some estimates putting its earnings in May alone around $12 million. This success also sparked a player-driven economy, where the game's rarest digital items were traded among the community. This, while not officially endorsed, was proof of the real-world value players put on their virtual assets. Grow a Garden wasn't just influencing gaming culture, it was creating its own microeconomy, all built on the foundation of a 16-year-old's simple idea. By the end of that summer, the dust had started to settle, but the gaming landscape had been permanently changed. In just a few months, Grow a Garden had become the fastest-growing game in Roblox history, proving that a small, agile team on a user-generated content platform could rival and even surpass the biggest names in the industry. Its success sent ripples through the entire industry. The story of Grow a Garden is, in many ways, the ultimate story of Roblox, a platform built to democratize game development. Jansen Madsen of Splitting Point said it best, noting that many in the traditional games industry see Roblox as an immature platform, but they're missing the point. He argued that the rapid, social-first nature of games like Grow a Garden is the future of what players will expect. Its legacy is inspiring. A young, solo developer whose passion project became a global sensation. It's a case study in explosive growth, smart partnerships, and the power of a simple idea executed perfectly. It has already inspired a wave of similar games, not just on Roblox but on other platforms as developers try to capture that same lightning in a bottle. Of course, its massive success has also kicked off debates about its monetization models and the influence on its younger player base. Can a game that grows this fast keep its momentum, or was it a beautiful, fleeting moment in time? The future of Grow a Garden is still being written. The developers continue to roll out updates, including a highly anticipated trading and cooking system to deepen its complex player economy. But whatever happens next, its place in history is secure. It's a story that challenges our very definition of what a blockbuster game can be. It proves that the next global hit might not come from a corporate boardroom, but from a teenager's bedroom. It's a reminder that sometimes the biggest ideas are the ones planted with simple passion and given just the right conditions to grow. The world of Roblox is full of incredible stories like this one, with new hit games and talented developers popping up all the time. If you want to hear more stories about the creators who are changing the face of gaming, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. From a simple prototype to a record-shattering global phenomenon, the journey of Grow a Garden is one for the history books. It's a story about more than just numbers. It's about the collision of a brilliant idea, a strategic partnership, and a community of millions who found joy in the simple act of watching something grow. It's a testament to the new frontier of game,